Hello everybody and welcome to Kapowtoys. In today's video we're taking a look at the reformatted R15 JAEGERTRON bounty hunter from Mastermind Creations. Now is that JAEGERTRON or Jaegertron as in like Jaeger bombs? I'm not entirely sure, but this is their interpretation of the bounty hunter Lockdown. The packaging is pretty much what we've come to expect from Mastermind Creations. They kept it pretty simple, with pictures on the back showing him in his alt mode, his bot mode, and which weapons and accessories are included. And here he is out of his plastic prison, and Lockdown does come with a huge variety of accessories. We even have a trophy cabinet where we can display all of his interchangeable hand weapons and the faces of some of his victims. That is insanely grimace. It really is. It's like Predator meets Transformers, and I absolutely love it. It's refreshing. Now, Jaegertron himself is a nice, sleek design, drawing inspiration from the likes of the IDW comics. I'm not 100% sure where he's going to fit into people's collections. I know what they're doing. I know they're following on this IDW continuity, and they've given us the likes of Overlord and Scorn, etc. They have taken some creative liberties with Lockdown, and I know it's not going to be for everybody, but as a standalone figure, he is well built, he looks fantastic, and the accessories alone draws me in. The face sculpt really reminds me of the animated Lockdown. He's got this really nice big chunky chin there with the spikes on. I love this almost radioactive green that goes all the way throughout the wingspan and the shoulders, and look at that really vibrant pink breaking up those shoulder pads. It's a very nice looking figure. We have storage for his swords in the back. They can just be drawn. They're made of a nice translucent green, very in keeping with the likes of Drift and Hexatron. The hands can just peg in and out, making him armed and ready to do battle. Now, one thing I have noticed, I really struggled to get the hook into the hands. It has this small lip around the peg. It doesn't really want to peg in. It's the only one I have issues with, but it's an issue nonetheless. It comes with two of each of his guns, so we can easily overpower his adversaries. Much like his fists, the head is interchangeable and can be pegged in using the slider. Just slide that in, and there we have the alternative head. We can move the faceplate down. Now, the faceplate is very reminiscent, in my opinion, of the movie version. And to bring that movie look one step closer, you also have the extending cannon version where we can just slide in that extended gun head. I don't know. Some people like that. Personally, I prefer that more Transformers animated look to him. It just kind of brings back that lovely vibe I used to get from watching the show. Articulation-wise, the head can look up and down. We can move left and right, kind of quizzical. The neck joint itself does rotate, and the head, of course, is on that pin. The shoulders can come up that far and down. They can bend, double jointed at the elbows. Do have the ability to go up and over, although there is a huge hindrance with the backpack section here. We have an upper bicep rotation, we have a rotation at the wrist, and we do have a bend up and down on the hand, which allows us to hold a sword aloft like He-Man. The waist does rotate. There's no hindrance with the waist at all, which is nice. The feet can come this far forwards and this far back. On a friction joint, we can come out to the side. We have an upper thigh rotation. We have a very nice double jointed bend at the knee. Again, there is some hindrance with that backpack section. Coming down to the feet, we have forwards and backwards, and we do have rocking motion side to side, which allows for good posability. Now, considering how backpack heavy he is, he's quite a stable figure. We do have the ability to rotate his thigh sections around as well, which does give us just that little bit more flexibility with the forward and backwards motion. And there's something about just that light coming through that light piped section on top of the head and those swords just glowing in the sun. It's something really almost demonic and terrorizing about this guy. I would hate for him to be hunting me down. Scale-wise, he is the size of a good Voyager figure, so he could easily hunt down your Autobot wreckers. Let's take a look at transformation into spacecraft mode. First of all, remove all of his weapons, come round to the hands and move up this section. You want to turn the hands so the fingers are facing inwards and rotate them into the forearms and just close this section off. Bring this shoulder section down. You want to rotate the arm so the elbow joint is on the outside and this section is facing upwards. You then want to bend this joint up and over using this double joint. This section here is going to tab into the aligning holes on the second side. That joint into place. Rotate his head and just push it upwards. Remove the rear disc and bring the backpack section upwards. This allows us to bring down this wing section and bring the cockpit section through. This wing section has tabs on either side here. You need to push and locate those on either side of those arms and just firmly push and secure those into place. Flip the side sections up and tab them at the front. The cockpit section has a small tab that just needs to be adjusted slightly, lined up and tabbed in to this front section. Flip the heel spur backwards, and as you flip the heel spur backwards, bring the foot guard around. Now you want to bend this section out. This leg is going to bend and then bend over again at that double jointed knee. Like any Cyclonus figure in history, the legs are just going to come over and there's a tab in the top here. That's just going to tab in just the other side of that cockpit and it just locates underneath the actual screen section, and then everything tabs into place, and then we can just tab the legs together at the rear of the vehicle. We could then add his guns to either wing section. We can add that gun head to the front of the cockpit, and turning over we have the circular disc section placed on the bottom. That's not a necessary part, but it does hide his robot mode head and help disguise the under mode of the jet. I know it's cheating, but hey, that's how they've done it. I like how this looks. It's a very nice take on it. It's still reminiscent of his vehicle mode from Animated. It's got that kind of aggressive car look to it, but with the ability to fly. Now, it's not without its flaws. My pegs don't want to really grip in as they should. You move one and another one moves. I don't know if I've got one of the arms maybe at an incorrect angle, but it doesn't really want to lock in as well as it should. I mean, it still holds together nicely in his jet mode, but like I said, it's not without those flaws. Now, the armory and weapons trophy case can also be transformed and join into part of Lockdown's ship. You have these support arms. You can choose to have them forwards or backwards, but for the transformation you want to push those to the back. With Lockdown's tail fins placed downwards, there's a slot either side where these tail fins slide downwards. They slide into the trophy case, which helps locate the knees into place. And then when the knees are in place, we can bring up the side of the trophy case. There's a hole on the side of the knee, which allows this section to close up and peg in around it on either side. There we have him in his convoy mode. That bears a striking resemblance to the likes of the MP Rodimus. It's kind of got that vibe to it. It's nice. It's very in keeping with the rest of the ship. It does look like he's got a huge cargo section on the back there where he's bringing the heads of his victims to claim the bounty. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, JAEGERTRON from Mastermind Creations. Now, it has a mixed response here, Kapowtoys. Some of us like it, some of us don't. I personally prefer the Death's Head repaint, yes. I think it's more in keeping with the mold, but that being said, we do need a Lockdown in our collection, and this is a very nice, clean interpretation of Lockdown, and it's very in keeping with their current IDW runoff from Mastermind Creations. It definitely fits. It's got that same aesthetic, and with that huge melee of weapons and trophy case, this could well be the Lockdown for your collection. Mastermind Creations are renowned for making good, strong, solid Transformers, and this one is no exception. Yes, there are problems tabbing in those wings. I have tried and tried and tried, and they will not tab in correctly. It may be something I'm doing wrong. That aside, It's a good figure, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy with this purchase. If you'd like to order this toy, please click the link in the description below, which takes you through to our store. And until next time, from myself and the rest of the Kapow team, thanks for watching, goodbye.